Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Graphic art consisting of an artistic composition made by applying paints to a surface. A small painting by Picasso. The occupation of a house painter. House painting was the only craft he knew. Creating a picture with paints. He studied painting and sculpture for many years. The act of applying paint to a surface. You can finish the job of painting faster with a roller than with a brush. Graphic art consisting of an artistic composition made by applying paints to a surface. His pictures hang in the Louvre. A visual representation of an object or scene or person or abstraction produced on a surface. They showed us the pictures of their wedding. A situation treated as an observable object. The political picture is favorable. Show in, or as in, a picture. Illustrations used to decorate or explain a text. The dictionary had many pictures. A form of entertainment that enacts a story by sound and a sequence of images giving the illusion of continuous movement. A graphic or vivid verbal description. Too often the narrative was interrupted by long word pictures. A clear and telling mental image. He described his mental picture of his assailant. Imagine, conceive of, see in one's mind. The visible part of a television transmission. They could still receive the sound, but the picture was gone. A representation of a person or scene in the form of a print or transparent slide or in digital format. A typical example of some state or quality. The very picture of a modern general. The occupation of a house painter. House painting was the only craft he knew. The arts of drawing or painting or printmaking. Shrewdness as demonstrated by being skilled in deception. People who perform a particular kind of skilled work. He represented the craft of brewers. Skill in an occupation or trade. The skilled practice of a practical occupation. A vehicle designed for navigation in or on water or air or through outer space. Make by hand and with much skill. The artisan crafted a complicated tool. Engage in the trade of. An equal exchange. Steady winds blowing from east to west above and below the equator. They rode the trade winds going west. People who perform a particular kind of skilled work. As they say in the trade. The business given to a commercial establishment by its customers. A particular instance of buying or selling. I had no further trade with him. Turn in as payment or part payment for a purchase. Trade in an old car for a new one. Exchange or give something in exchange for. Do business. Offer for sale as for one's livelihood. The skilled practice of a practical occupation. He learned his trade as an apprentice. Be traded at a certain price or under certain conditions. The stock traded around $20 a share. The commercial exchange, buying and selling on domestic or international markets, of goods and services. Venice was an important center of trade with the East. The study and creation of visual works of art. The study and creation of visual works of art. The creation of beautiful or significant things. The creation of beautiful or significant things. The products of human creativity, works of art collectively. An art exhibition. The creation of beautiful or significant things. Art does not need to be innovative to be good. A superior skill that you can learn by study and practice and observation. The art of conversation. Photographs or other visual representations in a printed publication. The publisher was responsible for all the artwork in the book. A decorative texture or appearance of a surface, or the substance that gives it that appearance. A thin layer covering something. The work of applying something. The surface was ready for a coating of paint. A heavy fabric suitable for coats. The act of concealing the existence of something by obstructing the view of it. The work of applying something. A natural object that covers or envelops. Under a covering of dust. An artifact that covers something else, usually to protect or shelter or conceal it. The act of protecting something by covering it. Liquid preparation having a soothing or antiseptic or medicinal action when applied to the skin. The act of bringing something to bear, using it for a particular purpose. He advocated the application of statistics to the problem. The work of applying something. The doctor prescribed a topical application of iodine. A program that gives a computer instructions that provide the user with tools to accomplish a task. He has tried several different word processing applications. A diligent effort. It is a job requiring serious application. A verbal or written request for assistance or employment or admission to a school. December 31st is the deadline for applications. The action of putting something into operation. The application of maximum thrust. A painting of the sea, as distinguished from a landscape. A viewpoint toward a city or other heavily populated area. The dominant character of the cityscape is its poverty. Painting depicting a city or urban area. A blemish made by dirt. Coat with plaster. Daub the wall. Cover, a surface, by smearing, a substance, over it. Daub the ceiling with plaster. An unskillful painting. Apply to a surface. Daub paint onto the wall. Material used to daub walls. An angry and disagreeable mood. A method of painting in which the pigments are mixed with water and a binder, used for painting posters or murals or stage scenery. Any of various infectious viral diseases of animals. A painting created with paint that is made by mixing the pigments with water and a binder. Paint made by mixing the pigments with water and a binder. Paint with distemper. A painting produced by spreading paint with the fingers. Painting by using the fingers to spread the paint. A picture painted with oil paints. The art or method of painting with oil paints. The reappearance in a painting of an underlying image that had been painted over, usually when the later painting becomes transparent with age. A painting done by Amerindians, especially Navajo, made of fine-colored sands on a neutral background. A painting of the sea, as distinguished from a landscape. A view of the sea. A semi-abstract painting. A painting of inanimate objects such as fruit or flowers. A form of Japanese poetry. The first and third lines have 5 syllables and the second, fourth, and fifth have 7 syllables. A Tibetan religious painting on fabric. A painting rendered in such great detail as to deceive the viewer concerning its reality. A painting that is applied to a wall surface. A painting produced with watercolors. A water-based paint, with water-soluble pigments, used by artists. Water-soluble pigment. The art or technique of painting with watercolors. A painting produced with watercolors. A water-based paint, with water-soluble pigments, used by artists. Water-soluble pigment. The art or technique of painting with watercolors. A painting produced with watercolors. A water-based paint, with water-soluble pigments, used by artists. Water-soluble pigment. Paint with watercolors. The art or technique of painting with watercolors.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.